Are your parents raising your children? If they are, this video is for you. If your parents are raising your children, I am speaking to you. There is no judgment here whatsoever. So 3 things I would like to talk to you about today. And please hear me because I am speaking to you from my heart. I am not a psychologist. I am just a grandparent and a parent that has experienced life enough to be able to speak to these issues. 3 things. Number 1, I would like for you to understand how your actions and your behaviors has impacted your parents who are now raising your children. I want you to understand that. I also want you to understand how this living situation where your parents are raising your kids and its impact on them, on your kids. And lastly, I want to give you hope. I want to give you hope that all is not lost. Nothing is irredeemable. Nothing. I want to talk about that at the end. So please stay tuned until the end. So let's talk about the first one. Let's talk about your children that your parents are raising. How are they feeling? What are they thinking? What's going on in their bodies? I would suspect because they are with your parents today, because there's circumstances in your life that made it impossible for you to raise them. I suspect that most children being raised by their grandparents have experienced some sort of trauma. This is what happens from all of my research that I have done. Certainly, I'm not speaking from an expert or therapist or psychologist perspective, but from a parent that has done some extensive research about what trauma does to a child's body, what trauma does to a child's brain. Scientists have shown when children experience fear or when they are in a threatening position or when they experience trauma and their heart rate increases, cortisol and adrenaline is released into the system. Those are stress hormones that are released into the system. When this happens repeatedly on high levels, it destroys what scientists call the dendrites. These are little tentacles at the end of the neurons that transmit messages to their brain. It destroys that over time. And that can produce significant trauma, psychological damage in children, in their small bodies, in their developing brains, that can have lasting impact in their lives. I know that's not what you want, but that is what's happening when children are placed in position where they feel threatened and they feel scared, and it increases their heart rate and all the things that goes with it. It's damaging to them. When they get into adulthood with this sort of psychological trauma and damage in their brain, they feel anxiety all the time. They feel that they cannot believe that anybody would ever love them. They have problems accepting love. They have issues with worth and value. They don't feel that they can trust anyone in their life. You don't want your children to get into the adulthood with that sort of trauma. But that is how your actions and your behavior impacts them. I want you to think about that. I want you to understand that your behaviors has consequences. How you show up in your children's lives have consequences, and these are dire consequences. I know deep inside you want what is best for them, but you are so clouded at the moment. You are in such a pickle at the moment that you can't see past what is in front of you. But I want you to remember this. I want you to remember the impact that your actions and your behaviors has on your children. Secondly, let's talk about us for a little bit, right? I want to talk about how your actions and your behavior has affected us. I have raised my children. I look forward to retirement. I have made plans about what I want to do. And those plans have been put on hold because I am now raising your child or your children. I have dreams too. I have done the best I can raising you. And now I want to rest. But I can't. Because I have to get up with little Tommy. I have to get up with little Sarah and feed her bottle at 2 a.m. I have to get up and get them ready for school. I have to put their interests first before mine. I am tired and I want to rest. I want to be a grandparent, enjoying and spoiling my grandchildren, and at the end of the day, I can send them back to you. I want to come to your house and play with my grandchildren. But that's not where we're at. We are here. But I want you to know how this has impacted me. I want you to know that I don't have anywhere to go, especially when I'm raising your grandchildren all by myself for rest. I want you to know that when I need some peace and quiet, I run into the bathroom and I sit in there and sometimes I cry. I want you to know that when I need some solitude, I walk out to the garage and sit in my car by myself. I want you to know that my finances are stretched because now I am providing for your children too. I want you to know that emotionally, I am tired. And there are days I wonder if I can do this at all. But then I remember, if not for me, who do these children have? And so yes, many, many times, I put on my big girl panties and I do it. And I want you to know that about how this has affected me. I am not wanting to put you on a guilt trip, but I want you to understand the reality of what your actions and how it has impacted me, us grandparents. This is the most important part of this video. I believe that you were created to be great. I believe that you have it within you to be the best parent possible. It is hidden there deep within you. You're going to have to fight hard to find it. You are where you're at because you have allowed yourself to be there. Regardless of the circumstances in your life that took you there, the first thing that will help you getting out of this little funk or this deep trench or wherever it is that you're at is to admit and take responsibility for your actions. I know it's hard, but do it because your children deserve it. So know that as a parent, deep, deep in my soul, I have not given up on you. I may come across uncaring. I may come across harsh. I may come across unfeeling, but no, I have to do whatever I have to do to protect your children, to allow them to have as normal a life and as safe a life as possible without any chaos. But deep inside, I am praying that you become a better person. I am praying that you find your way out of whatever it is that you're in, out, and begin being the parent that God has created you to be. When all is said and done, as grandparents, our first priority will be caring for your children. If you can pull yourself together, get healthy, make good choices, make good changes, you can raise your own children. And the joys of raising your own children is just unbelievable, right? But if you make the choice to not get better, if you make the choice to stay where you are at, make no mistakes, as grandparents, we will make sure that your children, our grandchildren, are not affected by your behavior. And if that means that you never see them again, so be it. This is the reality, love. This is the reality. And so I'm asking you in this video to get help. I'm asking you in this video to let your grandparents, or rather, let your parents raise your children in peace until you can get yourself together. Your children did not ask to have this sort of life. I know it's easy to say this, right? It's easy to say, you're out. But if we don't protect our grandchildren, who will? That's our goal. That's the choice that we made, to step in and to stand in between them and harm's way. To step in and provide them with the love that they so desperately need. To protect them, to keep them safe, to allow them to have a chance at a great future. So I wish you well. I wish you come back. I wish you work hard, claw your way back, but come back healthy. I wish you the best. I hope you make the right decision. And I want you to always remember that help is available. At the bottom of this video, there's some links to help. There's some books that you can read. Find the help you need to be better. Find the help you need to be better. Take care.